to your community. This is Chris 6 News in your neighborhood.
Hey there, good evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. We have been tracking a lot of heat across the coastal bend, and we're still going to do that as we make our way over the hump into the second half of the week. So as a warm evening settles in across the coastal bend, we'll be tracking what to expect on Wednesday ahead.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Chris 6 News. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. Here's a look at what we have been following across the coastal bend today.
Hey there, good evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. A couple things we're watching in the forecast. Of course, you know I'm going to talk about the heat. Hot and humid afternoons continue. We'll see those highs linger in the middle to upper 90s. That is going to depend on what neighborhood you're in and exactly how that southeast wind arrives. Whether it's a little more south-southeast or a little more east-southeast will determine exactly how that feels like temperature and actual air temperature shapes up across our neighborhoods. Something else I'm watching for, the gusty winds. I'm sure you noticed those today. We'll have southeast, generally southeast winds, 15 to 25 miles per hour. At times those gusts can be a little higher. We're not talking quite disrespectful winds, but something to help cool it off. And if you're going to be spending time outdoors, well, maybe staying up late or getting up a little earlier will be a treat. If you've noticed, the moon looks a bit full. Yep, it's the full buck moon. I'll tell you exactly when it's happening. The best viewing time is going to be late tonight or early tomorrow morning. I'll bring you the rest of your 7-day forecast ahead.
Hey everyone, I'm Drew Bishop, and just like on June 30th,
the item fails.
A push to pursue federal funding for Inner Harbor desalination failed again.
So then the motion would fail.
And I'm not going to regurgitate every council member's thoughts on the project. Instead, I want to ask, what if the final decision on Inner Harbor was left to the voters, not city leaders?
Every time we kill it, they bring it back. What's the purpose of it? Just put it on the ballot and let the people decide.
It's not Councilmember Eric Cantu's first time making the suggestion to let voters decide if the Inner Harbor desal project should happen. But Tuesday, the conversation grew, with more council members hopping on the bandwagon.
Then let them vote for it. You have two different sides. You have one side saying, oh, it would overwhelmingly pass. On the other hand, we hear every week from people that come up and talk to us and say, we don't want this. So I strongly recommend that. I strongly recommend that.
But how do you even put a desalination project up for a citywide vote? Option 1, make a charter amendment which can be added to the ballot.
One way you could put it on the ballot is through a charter amendment. So it could be in the city's charter that says, yes or no, we want to do a desal facility.
Option 2, make it into a bond election.
You could make it into a bond election.
But
it would add 25 cents to our taxes.
Aaron Price, who lives in Ingleside, mentioned how he and other Coastal Bend residents outside of Corpus cannot vote on this, even though they'd be affected.
I get my water through San Pat Water District. My rates go up if y'all's cost increases. Do not put it on the ballot.
In more Inner Harbor news, the Farfield study, which measures the potential environmental impact the desal project would have, has a new update. After originally saying Coastal Bend bays and estuaries would oversee an independent review of the model, Dr. Kirsten Stanzel says the group will no longer oversee that review.
Stanzel said we are no longer in a position to directly facilitate. To me, this has to do with their boss, someone up above. It could be the governor. I don't know.
So the city will now ask Coastal Bend bays and estuaries for a list of suitable independent groups to perform the review of the model. City Manager Peter Zanoni says the city wants to hire out of state and have the review be as objective as possible. Reporting for Chris 6 News, I'm Drew Bishop.
Here are the top headlines happening across the coastal bend. If you're heading downtown tonight, you will need to find a new route. All southbound lanes on I-37 will close from US 181 to North Chaparral Street. The closure starts at 9 tonight and lasts until 6 tomorrow morning. Crews are shifting traffic onto a temporary lane for restoration work. Drivers will be detoured to southbound Highway 286 and can exit at Morgan Avenue. Access to Staples Street and Uptown will stay open.
City leaders approved to increase water and wastewater rates starting January 2027. Base water rates for a home with a standard meter will go from $17.25 to $19.11. Rates for wastewater for a home with all meter sizes will go from $38.29 to $39.95. Now, the city still will calculate your wastewater rate by using the winter quarter average usage, which calculates how much water and wastewater is used during December, January, and February. It will soon cost you more to park at the beach in Corpus Christi. City leaders just voted to raise the annual parking fee permit from $12 to $20. This is the first time the city has raised the fee in more than 2 decades. Officials say the extra money will pay for beach cleaning and porta potties. The state still needs to approve the increase after a public comment period. If approved, the new fee will start in January 2027.
Multiple city charter amendments were on the agenda to be voted on by residents this November if approved by council today. But none of them will be on the ballot this upcoming election. Instead, the city council voted to make a committee so they could decide what voters should see on their ballot in 2028. Some of those items included increasing city council term limits to 4 years instead of 2, staggering council terms, increasing term limits, increasing the salary, as well as increasing the number of voters needed to petition to be able to remove a city council member, and add a 2-cent property tax for streets and roadway infrastructure.
With the Oasis River expected to continue rising over the next several days, emergency crews from across Texas are already in Live Oak County trying to stay ahead of the potential flooding. Their goal is to have resources, transportation, and shelter ready before the conditions worsen. Crews are monitoring the river around the clock as water from upstream continues to move through the area. Emergency management officials say they're preparing evacuation shelters, coordinating with the Red Cross, and making plans to help people who may need transportation if flooding threatens their homes.
So we're anticipating between late Friday evening all the way through the following Wednesday, everything's going to keep going up. Well, the main things we try to do is we want to set up evacuation shelters, of which by tomorrow on the Live Oak Emergency Management Facebook page, they're going to have all the information for the resident. Aside from that, we have buses set up. So if there's any kind of, elderly or, hard to move people, we will send people out and we will have them picked up.
For now, there are no mandatory evacuations in place, but officials are encouraging people who live along the river to prepare now, know where they'll go if they need to leave, and keep a close eye on forecasts as the river continues to rise. Officials say information about shelter locations, including accommodations for people with special needs and pets, will be on the Live Oak Emergency Management page. Reporting in Live Oak County, I'm Reagan Garvin, Chris 6 News.
The woman killed Monday morning at a home on Christie Street near Horn has been identified as 28-year-old Elizabeth Gonzalez. Officers were called to a home at 12:45 that morning. Officers say when they arrived, they found Gonzalez dead inside the home, along with 65-year-old Alberto Valdez. Valdez was arrested and charged with murder. According to investigators, they both knew each other. Robbery and homicide detectives were also called to the scene to investigate.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jacob Daniels, and I told you about this property back in April, and I said it could be torn down in July, and now a few months later, it sits unchanged in an eyesore, and I'd tell you I'd follow up with it, so here's what's new or not new. Nearly a year after a fire destroyed a duplex on Fremont Drive, neighbors are still waiting for the city to take action. Unit 11 sits abandoned and remains in violation of city codes. The property failed a reinspection in May. A hearing before the Building Standards Board was scheduled for July. Now, that hearing is pushed back to September. Jackson Basie owns a nearby taxidermy business, and he worries about the mess spreading to his property.
Yeah, that would be a huge problem. I would be upset if I came over here one day and the whole parking lot was full of debris and everything.
We will continue to follow this story and let you know what the board decides in September.
Hundreds of new teachers are getting ready for the upcoming school year. Today, the Corpus Christi Independent School District welcomed about 240 new educators. Principals sat down for lunch with the new hires at Carroll Arena. The orientation helps teachers feel supported before they step into the classroom. For many, this event helps calm their nerves.
As a first-year teacher, it is very important for me to know what is going on. Last week I had the jitters, the first-year jitters, and now that I'm here in the training, I feel more welcome, more confident.
These new educators will spend the next few weeks setting up their classrooms before students arrive. The district hires teachers year-round to keep up with demand.
Before a new Purple Heart exhibit opens here in Corpus Christi, we're showing you some of the stories behind it. I'm Michelle Hoffman, introducing you to retired Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Pierce, who shares why he felt called to serve not once, but twice.
Chris 6, a part of the Scripps News Group. This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Car wreck, Heil will help.
What makes someone survive war, leave the military, and then choose to go back? We find out in this week's Veterans in Focus as we share the story of retired Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Pierce.
I called up Human Resources and I said, hey, I know I've been out of the military for 3 years, but I want to get back in and I'm ready to go.
For most people, leaving the military means closing one chapter. For Stephen Pierce, it meant starting another.
What made you join in the first place?
Well, I was one of those guys that I graduated college and I was just kind of wondering what in the world am I going to do with my life?
The search for purpose led him to enlist in the Army. He started as a military intelligence analyst in Germany, but before long, he realized he wanted something different.
I went to the infantry because that's where the action was.
After the September 11th attacks, Pierce deployed with the 101st Airborne during the invasion of Iraq.
I was literally sitting on top of a tank as an infantryman, charging in the battle, and that's when my platoon had an engagement where we were kind of stuck in the middle of an ambush.
He tells me the battle lasted nearly 9 hours. Pierce was hit by shrapnel and one of his soldiers was killed.
I had him scrub me up and put me back in front of my platoon and continue to fight.
When he returned home, Pierce believed his service was over. He left the Army and went to work for the Fisher House Foundation, helping wounded service members and their families. But as wars continued, so did the stream of injured troops. Many of his friends were deploying again and again.
I had a kind of a front row seat of the cost of war. I thought, well, I've still got some gas in the tank. I need to go back and do my part.
He went on to serve in Afghanistan and Iraq before retiring after 26 years in uniform. Pierce has spent years teaching the next generation, volunteering with organizations like Habitat for Humanity, and he still stays active with the Military Order of the Purple Heart. He's also a husband and father, and now he's helping make sure other veteran stories aren't forgotten.
We have a responsibility to be able to tell the story of those who didn't make it.
Stories like Pierce's will soon be found inside a new Purple Heart exhibit at the Corpus Christi Museum of Science and History. And folks, as I've told you before, you are invited to its unveiling on Saturday, August 8th. Doors open at 9 a.m. and the ceremony starts at 10 a.m. For this week's Veterans in Focus, I'm Michelle Hoffman, Chris 6 News.
Here's a look at what's happening across the Lone Star State. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is keeping a major detention center open in Texas. ICE is extending a no-bid contract for Camp East, Montana in El Paso. The extension could cost taxpayers $776 million. Lawmakers and advocacy groups have pushed to close the facility. At least 3 detainees have died at the camp. But ICE says moving people to other facilities is not practical. The agency claims closing the camp would actually threaten detainee safety. The Texas Tribune is reporting that U.S. House Ethics Committee is investigating Texas Representative Lance Gooden. The panel is looking into a matter referred by the Office of Congressional Conduct. The committee has not said exactly what the probe is about. Gooden says the investigation is about spending and calls the allegations bogus. The committee will announce its next steps by November 9th. New restrictions on hemp-derived THC products are coming to Texas later this week. The state will start enforcing stricter rules on July 31st. This comes after the Texas Supreme Court upheld regulations first written in 2021. Popular items like Delta 8 will no longer be considered lawful hemp products in the state. You will likely see many of these familiar products disappear from store shelves.
Flooding is a big concern right now across parts of South Texas. According to the State Division of Emergency Management, officials say high water continues to impact rivers, including the Nueces and Frio River. Emergency leaders are reminding drivers to stay alert and never drive around road barricades put up for safety. Just 6 inches of moving water can knock a person off their feet, and officials say 1 foot can sweep away a vehicle.
Hey there, good evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. Taking a look at the almanac for today in Corpus Christi, another hot one, 97 for the actual high temperature. 95 is where we typically would expect our temperatures to be, so what's the big deal? It's summer heat, right? Well, yes and no. You add some humidity in there and it makes it feel oppressively hot. And notice we're closing the gap a bit between the morning low temperature and afternoon high temperature, a sign that we had a little more humidity in the air today, but nowhere close to what the record low was, 68 back in 1903, but not far off from the record afternoon high temperature. We saw that last in 1965, 100 degrees, and we are going to sneak closer to that over the next couple of days. So keep that in mind. But as far as rainfall, precipitation, July has not been the most generous month for us. We didn't see any today, obviously, but for the month, we've only racked up 0.18 of an inch, less than 0.2. A completely different story versus what we saw during the month of June. So that puts us behind by the month, but we're still ahead for the year by more than 2 inches. So we'll hold on to it. But this is typical for this time of the year. We told you there's a heat dome overhead, high pressure settling in, making things hot. Rain-free over the rest of the week. This is the dog days of summer. Has nothing to do with dogs. Back in the day, before we had a good understanding of science, the constellation Canis Major, or the Greater Dog Constellation, would rise and set with the sun in the summer. This would usually be in conjunction around July 23rd. So the ancient Romans believed that this constellation gave off that summer heat, and that's where the name comes from. But yeah, it's maybe a little bit of comfort for the heat when we look at the highs over the next couple of days. Check it out. We could be looking at 98 degrees on Saturday, one of the hottest days of the week, but we're staying in the upper 90s here in Corpus Christi, it seems. I'll show you the 7-day forecast ahead.
Hey everyone, I'm Larissa Liska at King, where a Chris Super 6 Showcase senior receiver brings the speed. Meet the Mustang that broke records last season in sports.
Now, Chris 6's Super 6 Showcase, sponsored by Ramco Mechanical Air Conditioning and Heating.
Hey everyone, I'm Larissa Liska at King High School. Mustang senior wide receiver Damon Smith has it all: speed, height, and a competitive edge. And last season he broke 2 school records. That's why he's been named our Chris Super 6 Showcase.
The one thing I can say is just my speed. I'm always the fastest guy out there.
A 40-yard dime to Damon Smith. He hauls it in.
You know, when the game is on the line and when there's a situation where if you just throw the ball up, we still got a chance.
Damon Smith is a guy that takes the top off the ball. He is exceptionally fast for an outside receiver, capable of running a 4.3 40-yard dash. Last season, his new coaches discovered that potential, switching his position from backup corner.
Kind of in the background a little bit, and then I kind of, one day we saw his catching ability and we decided to move him to the offensive side of the ball, and then we saw like how special we can be once we got him in the right coaching situation and around the right guys in the right situation.
Once his potential was recognized, Smith shined on the field. As a junior, he broke 2 single-season King School records at 1,249 reception yards and 10 touchdown receptions. The yards total put him 3rd all-time in Corpus Christi ISD, behind Moody's Nathaniel Dunn in the 2003 season and Ray's Matthew Marino in 2012.
It meant a lot to me just knowing that I was trying to achieve something and I actually went out there and did it. But I'm also trying to get the all-time CCISD record that I was a little short off of.
Ready, set, go! The previous King records were held by one of Damon's older brothers, Daniel, a 2025 graduate and Bethany College receiver.
I see my brothers, all the stuff that they have from it and all the stuff they do from football and all the good things football brought them. So I just want to follow my brother's footsteps.
Both of Damon's older brothers found success in football. The sport and its coaches have served as a guide for a family that grew up without a father figure.
I think, yeah, like our older brother stepping up, he kind of helped us out, like kind of paving the way for us, showing us right from wrong, keeping us on the right track, you know, grades, going to school.
Smith continues to follow his path. He has a 3.0 GPA and is a 3-sport athlete balancing track, football, and basketball.
Yeah, I want to play D1 college football, and I'll do whatever it takes to get there.
The Chris Super 6 Showcase features Smith alongside Carol Stephen McChester, Flower Bluff's Ransom Watson, Orange Grove's Daniel Martinez, and Three Rivers' Ethan Kahn.
Corpus Christi King kicks off their season in a battle of the Mustangs, hosting Ingleside on Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. at Cabinets Field. I'm Larissa Liska, Chris 6 Sports.
The House of Rock is celebrating 21 years of local art, food, and music. A birthday party was held Tuesday to celebrate the venue's 21 years of serving the downtown Corpus Christi community. The restaurant showcased a variety of entertainment, from comedy and acoustic performances to rock and roll and country and punk rock. Casey Lane, founder and owner of House of Rock, says being a part of downtown's creative scene has made the years fly by.
We live in a town that's a creative hub. There's a lot of creatives in our community, so being on this side of the business and being able to provide a stage and sound and lights and bring some people out it's been a good fit for us. So we're excited for the first 21. Hopefully you'll see another 21.
And if you missed the fun, don't worry. They will have live music throughout the rest of the weekend, with NB Ridas coming up on Friday.
All right, so you may have noticed the moon is a bit full out there. Now is the best time to get out there and enjoy it. From Tuesday night into Wednesday morning is going to be the best view. You can see the moon at its fullest. This is the buck moon. It gets its nickname because this is the time of year where bucks tend to get their antlers. So every month's moon has its little nickname. That's one for July. But yeah, you'll notice above my head it says the full moon is Wednesday, July 29th. At 9:35 a.m. By that point, the moon will have set, so now is the time to get out there and enjoy it. If not, wake up early tomorrow morning and you might have a good chance to enjoy the view. Either way, it still looks pretty full over the next couple of evenings. So what lies ahead in our 7-day forecast? Well, a whole lot of heat. We're looking at 90s for afternoon high temperatures. Some days that's going to push the feels like temperatures closer to the 110s. I think we'll avoid the heat alerts for Wednesday, but you'll still need to put an extra effort to stay cool.
And that's all the time we have for now. Thank you so much for watching Chris 6 News. Have a great one.